everybody. My name is Desiree Cummings. I'm a licensed therapist and coach, and I help Christians to find their identity in God. They find their strength, their purpose, their identity, their healing in God. And I wanted to talk today about self-control. I hinted at this in my stories yesterday because I find myself talking to a lot of my clients about wanting to lose weight, okay, or other addictions that they're having. And I just needed to say plainly to you all that food, just like porn, alcohol, whatever you want to call it, can be an addiction. Food can be an addiction too. So when I make statements about people need to seek help more often than they think, it's because whether your addiction is seen by society as problematic, it's still an addiction nonetheless, okay? And as Christians, we are to be free of addictions, okay? Because of the fruit of the Spirit, which I'm going to read that passage of scripture for you in case you doubt me. But I wanted to say that because if your addiction is the video games, food, okay, it's not criminal. But believe me when I tell you that it's affecting other areas of your life. So I want to read this because this goes into everything that I'm about to talk to you guys about today. And I'm hoping to compel you to understand that there's a gift available to you if you have accepted the invitation of walking with Christ. Galatians 5:22 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering or patience, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness." It's a form of humility. Meekness is having power and authority, but using it for good and not to lord over. And temperance, self-control. Against such there is no law. And they that are Christ's have crucified the flesh with its affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, or envying one another. Okay? So, self-control. It is a thread that affects so many other areas of your life you wouldn't believe it. Okay? And using myself as an example, I found myself, like many other people in 2020, I didn't have my normal workout schedule, and I got into hermit mode, really not eating very healthy, taking in food as comfort. And one of the things that I learned in getting back into my groove was I'm really blessed in that it wasn't that hard for me because since college, really, I've been working out. And I started to get into whole foods, healthy foods, because I have adult acne. I have high metabolism, so I wasn't really worried about, if I have a burger, well, it's not like I would really gain weight from that. But I'm thankful for my pimples because it made me conscientious of what I was putting in my body to put more God-made things and less man-made things, okay? That I can have a meal full of calories, but is it full of nutrients that my body needs? And the same can go for the mind. What are you consuming? Okay, and it might make you feel full, feel satisfied, feel entertained, but what is the nutrient factor, right? So that can go for both the belly and the mind. But anyway, we're talking about self-control because when I have women come to me and they admire me because I've saved myself for marriage, and how did you do it? Well, I did it by first and foremost trusting in what God said in His Word, trusting that God, who made love, marriage, sex, says to wait, right? But the other big part of that was self-control. And so what I'm saying is that by accepting the invitation of Christ, in John chapter 15, it talks about abiding. I am the vine. God, you are the branches. And that we're expected to bear fruit. And that fruit we bear through the help of Christ by our devotion, by seeking Him with these things. And so a lot of my clients are thrown off, or women that talk to me are thrown off by when I talk about self-control, because I think, especially in America, that's just something that is not taught a lot with Christians, especially with food. With sex, yes, but not with food. We're not putting it together. We're not connecting that dot. That when the Bible in Deuteronomy, I think it's 20:21, or is it 21:20, talks about, the glutton and the drunkard, that's tied into a lack of self-control. Anything that we pull ourselves into, that we're addicted to, we are not called to that as Christians. As Galatians was saying, if we are Christ, we have crucified the flesh. That means we are walking after a higher authority, after a higher level of consciousness, you guys. So you're not controlled by anything, but you are able to demonstrate self-control. That is in what you eat. That is, in exercising when you know you need to, as well as all the other things. Okay? Because the gift of self-control can bless you in your business, in your personal life, in your health, and all of the things. When God said that these are gifts, they are gifts, believe me. Listening to the world will jack you up. Learning some form of self-control, okay, and crucifying the flesh with its affections and lusts will take you places. It will take you places you never thought you would go. So I wanted to encourage you guys in that, and I pray that this was a blessing for you. Anyways, that was my Mental Wellness Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.